Okay, welcome everybody. Welcome to our jurors, 35 jurors that are here today, and welcome to some of the observers, or to all our observers that have come today. My name's Emma Lawson. I'm from a company called Democracy Co, and I'm going to give a little bit of an introduction first up, and before we introduce the Minister, and he'll be your first speaker for the day. So as I said, I'm from a company called Democracy Co, and I work with a lady called Emily Jenke over here. Yep, and we're both M's, so you can call us both M, and that makes it nice and easy for you. You only have to remember one name to remember both of your facilitators for this. We're going to follow you through for the next 4 or 5 sessions, so you'll be seeing a lot of us, and we'll be seeing a lot of you, so hopefully become good friends, and you'll probably become good friends with each other as well. To date, you've been working with Navek. I think he's just going to say a quick couple of words.
So look, I just wanted to say hello. I think I met all of you at Sign-In, and thank you once again for volunteering to be part of this, experiment in democracy, although they're getting much less experimental here in South Australia. I think you'll find it a really enjoyable, challenging and fun process, and I wish you luck. So I look forward to hearing about your report at the end of, in early August. Good luck.
Thanks, Navek. So at Democracy Co, our job is to work with governments to help them connect with citizens, and we do that through designing processes like these and also running processes like these. So we don't have a position on this issue, and our job is to not have a position on this issue. So our job is to help you find your position and your recommendations to government. You're a randomly selected group. You're probably not all aware of that, but you've all come to this from various different places, so it's going to be an interesting conversation. Emily and I are going to be aiming to make this process as fun and as rewarding for you as possible. I mean, large part will be what you make it, but certainly we'll do our best to make sure that you have a fun time and get to know each other well, and that it's a challenging experience for you. Because you come from all different types and walks of life, you come with lots of varied experiences, and this diversity, as well as your commonalities, will be what makes you powerful as a group. You bring your experiences, your knowledge, your skills, all your experience in life to date, but you also are here perhaps because you have a passion for this issue, or perhaps you're keen to help government and work with government and finding some recommendations and a way forward. Your discussions and your deliberations and conversations, perhaps even those thoughtful times where you go for walks around the zoo, and we are having all the sessions at the zoo, so there'll be opportunities for you to go out and have a look at the animals and have a bit of a walk, and that'll probably be some of your most inspirational moments. We'll give you lots of ideas. My advice to you in this process would be to be open with each other, be respectful, be collaborative, and help create a trusting environment. To help you, you're going to have lots of advice and information to support you. You've already been sent some data, which you might have had an opportunity to look at in advance. Lots of submissions have been received on this topic to help give you information and advise you on what different people think. There's been 21 submissions provided to you so far, and these are in your folder. You'll also hear from expert witnesses, and we have an expert witness here today who I'll introduce later. He's Dr. Mark Laurie. And you also have people having a conversation on this topic already online on a place called Your Say, so you'll be able to have a look at that as well. You also have people who come and observe the process who put up their thoughts at the back of the room, and you might be able to look at those at various times as well. The topic of exploring is not only close to many people's hearts, but also very important. There's thousands of unwanted pets each year. It makes me really sad to think that thousands of pets each year are not wanted, and it's the extent that we have to put them down and have to euthanize them. This is obviously something that we don't want to happen, and something we'd like to prevent from happening, and that's what you're here to deliberate on. It's important. The Minister is looking forward to hearing your views and receiving your advice, and he's going to talk about that in a minute. Just before he does, there's just a couple of things I wanted to explain to you so you can understand what's happening. At the moment we have the jury in the room, but we also have some observers. They won't be staying with you all the time. They're just here to watch and listen, particularly when we have speakers in. It helps to improve the transparency of the process from our perspective, and also increases awareness about citizens' juries, which is good. They'll also have valuable ideas for you to consider. So today's process, thank you to Emily for putting that up on the screen. The agenda is on the screen today, so the Minister's going to welcome you. Then we'll hear from the Chair of the Dog and Cat Management Board, Felicity Ann Lewis. And then they'll have a bit of a Q&A before the Minister leaves. And then you'll hear from Dr. Mark Laurie as your first expert witness. Then we'll have a bit of discussion, some afternoon tea. The visitors and observers will depart at that point, and they'll be able to sit and talk about how you're going to do this, and how you're going to work as a group, and who you want to hear from, what experts you want, and that sort of thing. So there's be lots of interesting discussion and a bit of get to know you, because at the moment obviously you don't know each other very well, so there'll be an opportunity to get to know each other much better this afternoon. There's, in terms of toilets and admin, that sort of thing, the toilets are just over there. You also notice that there's some video cameras in the room, a few different video cameras. One of them is ours, and that one is just is only getting the backs of your heads, so you won't be on a screen. That's mainly to capture our speakers, and we'll be putting that online. We'll be getting your permission to take photographs and to get video footage, and there's a form in there, but if you don't want to, that's fine as well. We'll just make sure that you don't appear anywhere. What have I missed? The other cameras are media cameras, and they won't be staying very long, so you won't have to worry about them, and they're only capturing the backs of your heads unless you turn around and look at them anyway. Tea and coffee. Tea and coffee is being served out the back. Anytime you want to get up and get yourself something to refresh yourself, so you feel free. Right, so on that I think there you go. Emily wants to get you outside because we realise you're missing sunshine today, and we're very thankful for the fact that you've chosen to give up a beautiful sunny day to be with us. So on that note, I think it's worthwhile welcoming the Minister. This is Minister for Sustainability, Environment and Conservation, Ian Hunter.
I hope I don't short circuit the. Yeah, perfect. Excellent.
I short-circuited it.
You did.
Okay, let's just leave it.
Why don't I move my cup to see if that's easier? Hello everybody, it's wonderful to see you here today with us at beautiful Adelaide Zoo on such a gorgeous day. I wanted to say thank you very much for agreeing to be part of this citizens' jury discussion about how we manage dogs and cats in our community, and for giving up your time over the next 2 months or so in the 4 or 5 meetings that you'll be having. In particular, you'll be talking about, I hope, how we can reduce the number of dogs and cats that are being put down in our shelters every year. It's a sad fact, a very sad fact, that in this state, every year, more than 10,000 unwanted dogs and cats are euthanised. And that statistic alone, I think tells you, it certainly tells me, that there is something wrong with how we manage dogs and cats in this state and this country. If we have to kill that many companion animals every year through our management processes, it says to me that there must be a better way. There must be a better way. So you are here today to talk about that and over the coming weeks, and to come to some verdict, and to give that position to me and to the government. Earlier this year, I announced a consultation process in April on the overhaul of dog and cat laws in the state. Essentially to do a number of things. To shut down puppy farms, to improve the ability of pounds and shelters to return lost dogs and cats to their homes, to reduce the number of lost dogs and cats that end up in shelters in the first place, to provide some assurance to people that buy a puppy or kitten that they are buying one that comes from a reputable dealer and has been screened for inheritable diseases, etc. And to also help local government, local councils with their capacity to manage dogs and cats in their council areas. But in addition to these reforms, and partly because some of the submissions we received, we've received over 1,600 submissions so far through that consultation process. But a number of those submissions said, look, we want you to go further. What you're suggesting is fine, but we think there's more that you need to do, and you need to look at compulsory desexing of animals. And so this additional measure is one special item that I want you to consider in your deliberations. We I and many of us stakeholders in the industry would really like the government's bill with those changes I mentioned earlier to pass the Parliament this year, and we would really like that to have a significant impact in terms of the supply side number of animals that are adopted, and to push back or push down on the number of animals that are euthanized. But it is a thorny question. It is a vexed question. If you go out to the community and talk to people about compulsory desexing, for example, you get quite emotional responses back. Some strongly in favour, some strongly opposed. And so to find our way through this polarised opinion, we decided to embark on this process. Now, citizens' juries are an excellent way, I think, to gauge the way that communities are feeling on difficult or controversial issues. We've had them in the past on various subjects. I just wanted to reassure you at this point in time, I've been involved in a few of these now. In fact, I've opened a couple of them. One of them was on the liquor licensing laws and the venue closeouts. And it's interesting to reflect on how independent this process of juror selection is. Because in that one, that very first one, in fact, through this mass mail out of about 7,000 people and the selection of a representative group, the chief media advisor to the Leader of the Opposition was selected through that process. That's how totally independent that process is. I have nothing to do with selecting you, even though I'd love to claim credit. You look like a fantastic bunch of very smart people who will write a very deliberative decision. But it's completely independent of government, done by an organisation on our behalf. I just wanted you to understand how hands-off that approach is from our perspective. So there is no prejudged position. There can't be. There is no prejudged selection process. There can't be. I had not even any idea who you were until today. So that information wasn't supplied to me. So I just wanted to reassure you about that independence of approach and that there is nothing funny going on in terms of selection processes. So again, this process, however, is a lot deeper than just opinion polling or marketing or a focus group. You will be required to not just give your opinion on the basis of one question I'll ask you now, but on the basis of listening to expert advice, calling witnesses that you will select yourselves through this process, to give you their experience and to express their views to you. You'll then need to deliberate on the information that you've been given, discuss amongst yourselves on that information, and feel free at this time as well to go out and talk to your friends and family and neighbours about what you're learning and get their feedback as well. It's very important that we have as broad input to this process as possible. And then finally, you'll be asked to form a view. And for the first time, importantly, you'll be asked to give a verdict. And we haven't done that before. I'll come to that in a moment. But over the remainder of today's session and through the next few weeks, as I said, you will hear from witnesses about the problems that we face in terms of animal management. And of course, those witnesses, having spent part of their working lives probably in these fields, will have their own firmly held views, which they'll impart to you, and some pre-thought out judgments about solutions. And that's fine, that's to be expected, but you need to understand they are coming to this through the prism of their own point of view and their own life experiences, and you'll need to weigh that up yourself, together with the other information that you'll be hearing over the next coming weeks. So keep in mind that every person you'll hear from will have a particular point of view. That's natural. It will be based on their life experiences and their professional experiences. But it's your solutions I want to hear from. If I just wanted to listen to the experts, I could do that myself. I have a whole department that could do that for me. But in fact, it's you that I want to hear from. I want you to hear what you think when you weigh up those different points of view and how you've come to your solution, how you've come to your decision. So the authority that I've given to you as a jury, and that's a technical term, or a charge is another way of putting it, I've explicitly asked for a verdict on whether we should be introducing a South Australian mandatory desexing. And as I said, this is the first time we've ever asked a citizens' jury to give a verdict on a particular issue. We normally leave it much more open-ended. So what I'd like to just make plain to you is don't underestimate the power of what I'm putting in front of you. Your recommendations on that verdict will be incredibly persuasive to government. And I'll make this commitment to you right now that from day one, I will table your findings unedited in Parliament. I will table your findings unedited in the Cabinet, and I will take your views to the government. And as I said, don't underestimate how powerful that will be. So I don't want to scare you, but the decision you come up with at the end of this process will have a lot of weight, and it will very, very likely inform our decisions forward in dog and cat management. So there's a bit of weight on your shoulders collectively, but you have the opportunity through this process to quite fundamentally play a role in future legislative approaches to dog and cat management. So having left you with that very weighty charge, I'd like to thank you again for your willingness to be part of this process, giving up your time to be here over the coming weeks. I wish you a very productive and fruitful discussion, and I look forward to hosting you again in August, I think in Parliament House, where you'll formally present me with your verdict, and I think it's going to be a fascinating time for all of us. Thank you very much.